Good evening and welcome to Blue Note Hawaii. In order to bring everyone back, we have had to implement some new policies. Masks are now required at any time you are not seated, and there is no mingling between the tables. We also would like to remind you of our quiet policy and ask you to please keep conversation to a whisper so we can all enjoy the show. Please turn all cell phones off or to vibrate, and there is no video or audio recording of any kind this evening. And now, put your hands together as we welcome to the Blue Note stage, Paco Loco!
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Blue Note. Y'all give it up for yourselves, y'all. Beautiful, beautiful crowd. Oh, it was beautiful today. Turn out the light now. Shit. Oh, it's so good to see y'all. It felt so good walking in today because, you know, our King Ige, said that we're allowed to take off our masks in public. And so it's so beautiful to see faces and strangers. It's so nice. All right, I take that back. Some of them are nice. Some of them are like, oh, you gained too much weight over this whole year. Like, damn, you just gonna come in and take off your clothes. Not even do no type of sit-ups, nothing. Where y'all from? You got a lot of local people or people from out of town? Out of towners, if you here visiting, make some noise. Hey, local people in the house. That's all the staff. What's up, y'all? Hey, what's up? Oh, it feels so good. Like, y'all might recognize me. I know y'all looking at me like, I think I know this guy from somewhere. I think I know him. Where do I know him from? And it might be maybe the TV appearances or the radio stuff that I did. Or I could have been your Uber driver. Yeah, that was me, yeah. I drive at night because of the pandemic. All my kids dried up. So I just got down to Uber and I'm just out here like, I'm trying to fight the disease and trying to fight it, but I'm just spreading fat, heart disease and liver cancer because I deliver Uber Eats too. And yeah, so I just deliver McDonald's and Jack in the Box all night long, like. And then I do Uber Eats too, and Uber Eats. That's Uber Eats. The Uber, regular Uber, I just pick up drunk people. It's just fun. It's just fun picking up drunk people. And they actually tell me that I'm actually saving lives. Like, they tell me all the time, like, the reduction of drinking and driving in Hawaii is down by 60% because of Uber. Like, what? So you start to get this sense of purpose, and they're trying to do things and help people out. So I just take it as a video game. It's like Grand Theft Auto, but in slow motion. You know what I mean? I could do this all night long. Like, it's so fun. Oh man, like, it's funny because I know I look local, and I work here. I've been here 15 years, but I'm from Philadelphia, yo. Like, I came here on a visit and I stayed. So visitors, if you thinking about staying, it happened. Like, yeah. But you can't come out here and just do regular old jobs. You gotta do your dream jobs. And I got a lot of dreams. So I got 6 jobs, yo. Yeah, I bust my ass on all of them. So, and these next few stories, I'm gonna be jumping from job to job. Just stick with me. Like, I'm a DJ, I'm an MC, I'm a comedian. I work in radio and Uber, and I'm also a property manager. That's so fun, yo. Being a property manager is just like being a paid snitch. Oh yeah, I don't even knock on your door. Like, I am so caring at this point. Like, I will call the cops on you. They blame it on the white girl. Nope, that's me. I'm from the hood. We ain't gonna sit there and break. I call the cops. For real. Working in Philly, like, you gotta understand a lot about me, buddy. Where I don't believe a lot of stuff that I'm told, because when you grow up, like, you really realize that the things that are told to you as a child, they just be lying. You know what I mean? They just be telling just all kinds from the birth. From early ages, we just lie to our kids, don't we? We lie to our kids, tell them Santa Claus exists. You know what I mean? We believe in Santa Claus. But no. Like, I believe they told us that ghosts don't exist. That's what they told us. I know there's no such things as ghosts. Hell yeah, if you live in Hawaii is so haunted, yo. Oh, like, we was here, like, we backstage, we hearing stuff shuffling around, like, yeah, this place haunted, yo, like, I can tell you, like, some spooky stuff that happened to me. I was in this place called St. Andrew's Priory. St. Andrew's Priory is, like, Hawaii's first Catholic school, and the first cathedral, like first church in Hawaii, super old. Been here since white people started getting here. They built a church, you know, that's what they do. They built a church. So I'm in there, and I'm fixing my hair. So I'm like this, and all of a sudden something pulls my hair. I look back, I don't see nobody in the room. So I'm from the hood. I'll beat any man right here. But I'm scared of some ghosts. I was like, fuck that. Oh, no. Woo, I was so out. I went and talked to the security guard. Yeah, I was in the bathroom, something touched me. He was like, yeah, that happens. This place haunted. Like, oh, it's so spooky. I grew up in a haunted house. Anybody grew up in a haunted house? That's such a weird thing. But it happens. Like, we grew up in a haunted house. He's at home. I remember as a little child. It first started when we saw the movie The Exorcist. Yeah, y'all remember The Exorcist? Oh, like everything was spooky after The Exorcist. But we was in a house, and all of a sudden we in the house, chilling. It gets dark, quiet. And all of a sudden we see our breath. Whoa! Then all of a sudden we hear, we're like, oh! So in our mind, that was the devil. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, Jehovah's Witnesses knocked on our door. Yeah, they got a good marketing scheme, man. Yeah, they started saying, like, are you having problems with demons? Like, yeah! Well, we have God and he can help. Like, oh! So I've got religious too in the meanwhile. Well, meanwhile, we sit there, we see the breath, and he's cold. My father comes in, like, yo, it's possessed. Oh, so we got real religious and started, praying and worshiping. And then later on in life, you figured out what you was told is not what is really the truth. Because it turned out that we wasn't even in a haunted house. No, we was just poor. Yeah, we lived in poverty, didn't even know it. They didn't even know it, because the whole neighborhood was poor. We thought everybody was poor. You know what I mean? So we just in a house when we seen the lights, and when we seen the smoke, that was the gas going out. Like, but the gas went out. And then when we heard the moaning, after years and years, I graduated college. First person in my family to graduate college. First person. And I do as every college graduate does, and I moved back home with my mom. You know what I mean? We moved right back home. And when I moved back home with my mom, I found out something. The walls are thin in the ghetto. Like, I don't know, it wasn't no ghosts, but it was the neighbors fucking in the back, and you hear them. Because it was different, and later on it's like, like, Then it turns out that my dad wasn't even possessed by the devil. He's just an alcoholic. You know what I mean? He's just an alcoholic, though. But in life, like they tell you so many things is not real. I had a Bigfoot experience, can you believe it or not? Like, I'm from Philadelphia, like I said. And in Philadelphia, we got next to us the Pocono Mountains. Pocono Mountains is just deep woods, and then later on I found out that's pure Bigfoot country. Oh, he's out there, Bigfoot. Bigfoot not in Hawaii, they got other stuff like the Hoonies. Yeah, they got the night marchers, and not to mention all the ghosts everywhere, you know what I mean? But in Philly, we got Bigfoot. We go out to the woods, he might mess around. So I was a camp counselor. Back when I was in college, I used to be a camp counselor to give back to the little kids. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I was torturing these little kids. You know what I mean? Because they were scared just as much as I was scared, but worse, because they put me in charge and I'm scared. And there was some real dangers out there, like dog bears. Yeah, oh, bears in the woods. Like, so we out there, so we tell the kids, like, no, you gotta go to bed now, or the bear's gonna come. You gotta get in line, or the bear's gonna come. Like, so we just, until some stuff started really happening, you can't explain. Like, we was out in the middle of the woods, it was a staff training, and we go out to the woods, far out to the woods, and we start camping. All of a sudden, one of my friends come out, he comes out with a joint of marijuana. Like, oh, that's perfect, yeah. Now, I know this is going to discredit what's going to happen in the next few minutes because of the marijuana, but trust me, we're teaching Charles. This thing, a little joint, not going to mess us up. So we go deeper out to the woods, deep out to the woods, and we light it, we think it's safe. Deep out to the woods, coming from the deep part of the woods, we hear this. And then real close to us here. So we all look at each other. We from the heart of the ghetto. We strong. We a gang. We got the fuck up out of there. Like, no! So we, for years and years, we ain't never talked about it until I saw the Joe Rogan show. Any Joe Rogan fans in the house? Oh, JRE. So Joe Rogan had this show called the JRE Experience, where he investigated Bigfoot. And he had this lady who had a recording of Bigfoot. She played the recording. It sounded like this. And this lady's like, listen, Joe, there is no animal that can make this sound. Joe Rogan looks at her like, I just did it. Like, you know what I mean? Listen, she just did it. Like, so you know what that means, y'all? I had a chance to smoke a joint with Bigfoot. Or Joe Rogan. That would have been cool too, you know? That would have been cool too. Now again, hey, I gotta get a little gauge in the room real quick. We got any young people in the house? Young people? Young people? We got any old people in the house? We got old people? Young, being young and old is not your age. It's not your age. It's how you feel inside. And there's a lot of young people that's way older than me. Like, and I tell you, like, I'm only 44, but I feel like I'm 90. Yeah, like, I lived a hard life. Like, all the stuff is changing on me before. Like this is comedy, so we're going to talk religion and politics, you know what I mean? But before, I used to be a stone cold Democrat until they start worshiping the devil and shit. Like, I can't listen to this. Like, I'm over here, like, I'm at the Democrats meeting, they like, fuck God. Like, so all of a sudden, they make me Republican. Ain't this fucked up? I'm a Republican because I believe in God now. It's like, all right, I'll take this. You won't make me this because I believe in God. Like, all right. I do things that I don't like. Like, I'm a professional DJ, and I don't let the music I play no more. Like, I'm listening to the music that's funny. I listen to this music. Like, the kids, I used to love hip-hop. I love rap music because I'm from the ghetto. And they told our stories and what it was all about that we suffered. Like, I remember these stories. Who the fuck is this? Raising me at 5:46 in the morning and crack it on and now I'm yawning. That was a song. Those was lyrics. You know what I mean? Nowadays, like, I listen to these songs. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, they play this music. Like, let me sing you one of the songs for today. Listen up. Listen how it goes. Gucci gang, 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 Gucci gang. That's line one. We'll give you line two. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. You know, like, I'm listening to this stuff like, man. Like, they got this guy called Lil Nas X. I think this guy's the guy that got me out of hip-hop. Like, I love hip-hop. I ain't not gonna leave you all the way hip-hop. But Lil Nas X. If your kids are watching Lil Nas X, take it from them. Like, it's so bad, they say if you watch Lil Nas X, it turns you gay. Like, for real, I don't know, that don't make logic to me. Like, for real, a video, that means with that same logic, if you watch a Cardi B video, it's gonna make you straight again, right? You know what I mean? Or lesbian, like, like Cardi B, sexy, like. This dude, Lil Nas X, like, first thing he does, he comes out with that song, Old Town Road, I'm gonna ride until I can't. It's all type of gay symbolism. Like, and I don't got no problem with gay people, because especially in today's age, because they come out and tell you, like, all right, it's cool, like. But they be like, back in my day, we used to hide it. Like, back in my day, we used to hide it. And there be people that be gay, that not even gay. They say they're not even gay. Like, remember back in the day, like, they used to say Michael Jackson was gay? Remember? He wasn't gay. He was a pedophile. That's not gay! That's not gay! They used to say Prince was gay. Prince, he wasn't gay either. He was just a freak. Prince would have sex with anybody. It's a freak age thing. It was crazy. They say, one of my favorite singers, Ricky Martin, I'm Puerto Rican. I used to love Ricky Martin. He'd be like, upside, inside out, living a vida loca. Like, I was like, that's my man, Ricky Martin. He's Puerto Rican. Like, and as soon as somebody left him, he might be. What the hell is that noise? That might be my conscience talking to me. But no, I'm sitting there. He Oh, this is crazy. This is Paul Mooney calling me on my phone like, oh man. Paul Mooney, I try to do these shocking stuff because Paul Mooney just passed away. You remember Paul Mooney? Rest in peace, Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney used to do some crazy stuff on stage. Like, death comes in threes. You know that? That's like I got a heavy heart, because death comes in threes. I had 3 deaths recently in my heart that just recently happened to me. That's a red light. I'm going to tell you this story later. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paco Loco. I'm going to be your host for the evening. The 3 deaths that happened in my life was my brother Fritz. Fritz just passed away. It hurts, man. Colt Brennan. Colt Brennan. Y'all know Colt Brennan? Y'all visited from here, right? Oh, Colt Brennan. Like, he was the man in Hawaii. Like, household name. So every time somebody dies in my life, I just be like, oh, shit. 2 more people going to die. Like, oh. So this just be bad. So there's a thin line between laughing and crying. We're going to say some things tonight that might offend you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to say some things that you might like. Please respond to it. If you don't like what I'm saying, say something. But this next young lady, we first found out about her when we Googled Asian porn. She found out. Ladies and gentlemen, this young lady is awesome. I really appreciate her comedy, and she is the bomb. Please make some noise for Clarisse Lee.
If you're a white man in your 20s, half fetish. And if you're an Asian mom, just 100% disappointed. As give it up for your awesome host, Paco, everybody. Yeah. I think it's funny that he mentioned Michael Jackson, because I totally look like a Michael Jackson survivor. No, it's okay. I'm not actually. And absolutely, condolences to the people who were involved. I'm Asian, so you can't tell if I'm either 18 or 35. That's just it. And if you didn't laugh at that, that's because you were figuring it out, which is fine. So a little bit about myself. A lot of people are surprised to see somebody like me do comedy, right? They come up to me and they're like, oh, Clarisse, so you have jokes? And I'm like, no, but my family thinks I am one. Thank you. On a serious note, though, my parents actually did see me do comedy for the very first time. It was amazing, thank you. And I was honestly so happy that they didn't understand what I was saying. It was wonderful. I'm pretty self-aware. I know I look like I'm from Hawaii Kai, for the locals. But I was actually born and raised in Kalihi. Yeah, I was born and raised in Kalihi. It's actually the same amount of Asians as Hawaii Kai, but less doctors and more syringes. That's just how it goes. Oh my god, I love it. All my neighbors are here. This is great. Oh, it's because I grew up in Kalihi, I actually grew up with mostly Polynesians, right? So I grew up with Samoans, Filipinos that aren't nurses, really just the whole spectrum of Hawaii. But that also means I didn't grow up with white people, right? Like most of the white people I saw were on television, never free range, you know? No, but I love white people. I love you guys. I am also a big fan of atheism. Or Mormonism, whichever one you are. Like, you know, I walk with God too. I do. Oh my gosh. Growing up in Kalihi, street smarts for me look different than the other kids in Kalihi because my parents are very traditional Chinese. So when other kids were learning how to fight, I was just learning that you should never buy something you can get for free. Right? Like, I don't know anything about drugs. I've never done marijuana or cocaine, but I know a lot about never having to buy napkins. Okay, if you have to blow your nose, I have Starbucks, McDonald's, Burger King, Costco napkins, Like, if you have to wipe your ass, I have Outback Steakhouse. I'm always prepared. When the world ran out of toilet paper last year, you guys remember that? Oh my god, my family were like totally okay. Because we've been using hotel toilet paper since 2007. It was a really good time. Oh my gosh. I love being Asian. Make some noise if you are Asian, guys. Awesome. Make some noise if you're an Asian who was born and raised in Asia. Cool, so like 3 people. I just want to say thank you guys so much for coming out. Like, give yourselves a round of applause. Really, because everything I'm about to say is going to be so crude and honest and goes against our entire culture, so you cannot refund that ticket. Make some noise if you're Asian American. Okay, so also 3 people. Also sounds about right. I know you guys are cool because you guys are Asian American, so you're like me, also equal parts nasty. I understand, I do. I'm really excited to be here, guys. I'm actually an actor as well, and I recently got asked to audition for the lead role in a Netflix film. Thank you so much. They're actually looking for somebody to play an Asian hobbit. So I was just like, you prepare your whole life for one moment, okay? Oh my god. And it's hard for me to talk about film with older people because you guys were born when the best films were made, right? Like you guys had Rocky, Quentin Tarantino, Citizen Kane, right? And I'm a millennial, so like the film of my generation was Princess Diaries. Still a great film though. I mean, it's basically a film about a woman realizing she never has to work part-time ever again. So it is pretty amazing. Gosh, my upbringing. Being Asian. It is great. I don't know. My parents grew up in such a difficult time, right? Being immigrants. And I can't help but be very spiritual. Make some noise if you guys are spiritual in here. Awesome. I love shopping at Lululemon too. It is awesome. And I can't help but think, every time I get to come on stage and perform in front of all of these strangers that I've never met, I have really warm feelings towards you guys because I feel like we are all one, right? We all come from the same place and we all return to the same place. And I think God, or whatever God you believe in, really wants you to do well in life. And I think God wanted to make sure that I also succeeded, so He made me Asian. But I think God also wanted to make sure that I really, really made it, right? Like I really accomplished all of my goals. So He also made me fuckable. But I'm self-aware, guys. Like I know I'm not like crazy fuckable. I'm like affordable hot. Like dating me is like shopping at a Target. It is a high quality but affordable experience. It makes you feel one income bracket higher. The idea came from the United States, but all the parts come from China. No, I'm super self-aware of that. I'm terrified of horror movie guys. Oh, I'm such a big when it comes to horror movies. I don't know why people still make them, right? Because every single horror movie is the same. It's about a white couple that did not read the fine print on Craigslist. Right? And then as a result, their house gets possessed by an evil grandma ghost who's been wanting to avenge her death for 200 years because, women never forget. And then she invites all her evil doll friends to have a sleepover at your house. And that's terrifying. And not because of the evil dolls, but because if you can't sleep, you get wrinkles. And pretty soon you're gonna look like that evil grandma ghost. It's terrible. And I can't help but if this is a universe where evil, powerful forces exist, where are the powerful forces of good? right? If there are terrible demons hanging around everywhere, that must mean that heaven is just a bunch of angels with machine guns, right? Just like every archangel is just, what is his name? The Terminator, just strapped with Bibles and guns, right? And he comes down from heaven to exorcise this haunted house like, God forgives, but I don't. So this is what happens when I watch movies. It's probably why, as a millennial, I also can't talk about them. It's crazy. I don't think Chinese people can get haunted, though. I think we're way too practical for that. Right? Like, if my dad was in the bathroom and he saw a ghost child on the mirror, he'd be like, thank you, but no thank you. Take everything with him, including what he made, and run out of that house, and then sell it for more than he bought. This is why Asians don't get haunted, guys. The Grudge is different, though. I feel like that's I feel like, well, that started in Japan because Japan's rich enough to have American problems. They're the white people of Asia. They are. Chinese people know how to handle it the old-fashioned way. I think I found the love of my life, guys. He's amazing. He's Indonesian, or in Hawaii, what you call just Filipino. He's an amazing man. And this is my first time dating a brown man. It is really awesome. Like, have you guys heard of the saying, once you go black, you can never go back? Yeah. Well, I invented a new one, and it goes like this. Once you go brown, you're always down. It's great. Like, he has this salt and pepper hair, and he has a dad bod, but then he has like an Asian baby face. So he just looks 18 and 50 at the same time. I absolutely love it. He teaches me Bahasa Indonesian, which is a beautiful language, but it's very hard to pronounce easy words. Like the word for water is air. Yeah, air. And I'm like, babe, you are so good at rolling your R's. Can you just do that work down here next time? Like, I will make a deal. I'll teach you Chinese. Like, like, let's make this happen. And for those of you who don't know, Indonesia and India share a lot of ancient cultural roots. Like, a lot of their language actually comes from Sanskrit. And I actually think it's really cool because it's like a very spiritual way for me to decolonize my pussy. Do the world a favor, guys. On Tinder, swipe right on a brown man. Right? You're undoing it in imperialization. And making a brown man's day. It is awesome. It is awesome. But we started living together during quarantine, and it made me realize I am fascinated by penises. Like, we shower together pretty much every day, and I noticed that every time his penis is getting cleansed in the shower, it is like an excited baby hamster. Right? It's just like, I'm getting clean! Woo! Please don't get soap in my mouth. And that's just in the shower, guys, but penises during sexy time, they're actually very hard workers. Like, have you watched Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? I realize all penises are like those seven dwarfs. They are very committed to getting the job done. Right? When it gets hot and heated, they're just like, we dig, 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 dig. Our mind the whole day through. We dig, 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 dig. It's what we like to do. So dedicated. Oh gosh. My favorite thing about him, though, is that his penis is very special. It is uncircumcised, right? And I know there's a stigma about uncircumcised penises, like, how do you wash it? Why is it hiding? But honestly, I think circumcised penises are a bit overrated. Right, have you ever looked a circumcised penis in the eyes and realized it looks very angry? It's like half mushroom and half naked mole rat with anger issues. Right? It's like, I'm gonna smash your pussy now, ha ha ha! And there's nothing you kids can do about it. But uncircumcised penises are so sweet, like they don't want to be the center of attention. Right? They're like, it's a caterpillar in a sleeping bag. They can't even talk unless they move their little scarves down. They're like, oh, don't mind me, I'm just curled up here in my sleeping bag. I don't know how those circumcised dicks get through the winter, but I'm just not cozy up in here with my Netflix and my Snuggie. Oh, is that a vagina? Oh, sorry, my face gets so sticky when I'm excited. Let me just use my scarf here. And here my vagina is like, hey there, big boy. It's Vietnamese for some reason. Oh, I just, if you keep touching me like that, I think I'm gonna, and now you're pregnant. Thank you guys so much. My name is Clarisse. It's been amazing. Give it up for Paco, everyone.
I wasn't even done yet. You gonna call me out there? That was so sexy, but wrong at the same time. I'm like, damn. You know what it is, son? They don't even gotta tell me to keep on taking my mask off and put my mask. I like my mask. I am much handsomer in my mask. Yeah, I am. You put my mask on, you know what they think I am? Jason Momoa. Yeah, with the mask. With the mask. Without the mask, I'm like Scar from the Lion King. Like, gee, wherever you are, man, that's what you become. That's gonna be fun being out here. This next young lady, when I seen the lineup on this show, I was like, some bad things are gonna happen back there. They got 2 Asian girls or 2 Puerto Rican dudes. Something's gonna happen. This next young lady from the island of Thailand, she's here for your pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is, Pam Todd.
Hello, Blue Nuts. Alright, thank you guys for coming out on Wednesday night. I gotta stay awake. I'm so glad Paco said a young lady. Usually people call me auntie. And then usually people ask me, what should I introduce you on when you go on stage? I was like, just a middle-aged woman living a life of an old cat lady who cannot even afford a cat. That's actually me. You know what I do on Friday and Saturday night? Stay home watching YouTube of how to make your own bread. Yeah, I'm that desperate, guys. A little bit about me. My name is Pam Thai. I'm from Thailand. It's in the name. So I am a comedian and an actor. If I look familiar to you, some of you may have seen me on Tinder. And if my feet look familiar to you, you may have seen me on OnlyFans. Guys, for 50 $50, you can get a custom video of me stick my toe in the jar of peanut butter. Okay, it's organic, okay, that shit is expensive. Alright. I moved, this is the month that is the 1 year anniversary that I officially moved to Hawaii. Yeah. Thank you guys, I love it. I fit right in with the locals. And until I opened my mouth, and then I just one of the dum-dum from California. I used to say like, oh, you can take a girl out of California, but you cannot take California out of the girl. Because I'm still worshipping avocado toast, guys. So pretentious, right? Anyway, Hawaii is so amazing. When I first moved here, I was like, oh my God, how many ABC stores you guys going to have? When I first got here, I was supposed to meet with my friend, and then she was like, I was like, okay, meet me at the ABC store, and she was like, which one? I was like, the one in the corner. Every corner had two. Worse than 7-Eleven on steroids, guys. So anyway, I moved here from Thailand. Actually, I've been here for like 15 years already. So, but I still learn about American culture. Like the first time I heard about peanut allergies, I was like, what the hell is that? Because when I grew up, the only food-related death was having no food. That thing can really kill you, man. So, I have a very much better life here, and it makes me weak. Last year I almost died choking on vitamins. So I was like, that would be a very weak ass way to go. How can I tell my ancestor that, oh, my life was out choking on 2 tablets of collagen? So, yeah, that would be how I bring shame to my family. Anyway, I still don't understand why people concept of fun. My friend tried to take me out camping, and I'm not a big fan, and she was like, come on, try the experience. I was like, oh yeah, you want me to have new experience? How about taking me to a 5-star hotel? If you talk about living in the treehouse or take a dump in the woods. That's how it's my life before I moved to America. Guys, helping Asian parents are so tough, Like, nothing I did was good enough. When I was a kid, we had to take an exam to go to high school. And then, of all the 500 students in the city, I got 4th place. And then, my dad was like, how come you didn't get 1st place? So, when I went to college, I finally got 1st place. Yay! Thank you. And my dad was like, and you didn't get a scholarship. So when I moved here, I went to community college for 3 years. And I dropped out just to spite my dad. He didn't live to see it. I just gonna cut the break, guys. So, Asian parents, they have it good, one thing about Asian parents, it's just my mom, they like good stuff, but they want it cheap, right? And what the children like us have to do? Like, they love delicious food. So I took her to a nice restaurant with delicious food, and then I have to lie to her that it's cheap. So one time I took her to a fancy restaurant next to the river, and then I ordered her like all the nice seafood that she likes. The bill came out to $300. So I know if I tell her the truth, all her fun would be gone. So I was like, oh mom, don't worry, it's only $50. And she was like, oh my God, that's good, let's do it every week. So anyway, they got it good. I think they always win because like, for us, right, when I was young, my parents have to buy me they always buy me the clothes like 5 sizes bigger or the shoes like 2 sizes bigger so I can grow into it, right? So by the time we grow into my shoes, half of the bottoms were gone, guys. I can never win. I think I have a love-hate relationship with my parents. It's kind of like Mean Girls. Have anybody watched Mean Girls? Yeah. No, I'm not the red-headed, I'm not catty, okay? But I like the blonde one minus the boobs, okay? Just that dumb. So I'm single, guys. And I'm Tinder a lot. I think I'm pretty popular there. So have you guys ever read men's profile on Tinder? It's so lame. Guys, if you want better profile, hit me up. I charge $50, take you better picture than nothing bathroom. And I don't let you brag about having 2 vaccinations. Like, guys, that's the mandatory we have to have it, right? Don't brag about it. It's almost as worse as having toilet paper, okay? Sometimes I just want to be an asshole, I want to put on my profile that I'm not going to take a vaccine. I'm going to be that asshole that fuck everybody up and have the virus mutated. Yeah, I'm just kidding, guys. I just got my 2nd vaccine. And did anybody get sick after the 2nd corona vaccine? Yeah. And yeah, I got it on Wednesday and Thursday morning. I woke up. I was like, oh my god, I'm sick. And then after I took 3 Tylenols and coffee, I'm like, I feel better. I'm like, oh, never mind, just another hangover. So, and my friend asked me, oh, okay, which one did you take? So I took Moderna, guy. And then my friend looked down on me like, why don't you get Pfizer? I was like, dude, I got mine from Walmart, okay? I choose my vaccine just like I choose my man. Cheap and available. And easy. So, guys online, one thing I learned that they have very unrealistic expectations when it comes to dating. So that was a dude that I'm here for a good time, not a long term. And he was like, up 4 at best. And I was like, dude, if you are up 4, you might be better off saying, I will marry you and get you a green card. Women are much better. We know what we look like. The husband will be like, spoil me and will take care of financially. Yeah, and the rest of us will be like, I will swallow everything. So anyway, my friends were worried about me being single, and they were like, don't be so picky. I was like, the last guy I dated lived in a van, so basically he's semi-homeless. And that's not even a deal breaker, okay? The guy had lactose intolerance, so I have to let him go. How do he save me from bad guys when he cannot even save his ass from a glass of milk? Don't get me wrong, I'm not looking for the Iron Man. I just don't want to go out with SpongeBob SquarePants. So anyway, people ask me, what's my type? I actually don't have a type because I practice diversity and equal opportunity dating. So basically, you can say I'm desperate. So anyway, but that's a little catch though. If you are a hot black guy, you get 10 points extra. So my friend know that I love black guys. They always try to be helpful, but miss about 50% of the key information. Because the guy that they brought to me looked like Chris Brown from Family Guy. That's not helping, guys. So I did a lot of thinking now, but I have, even though I'm desperate, I have 3 rules, okay? First, one thing, we don't do the same too. So before we go out, we will share pictures between girls that have you done this guy? If so, okay, he's off limit. The second rule is, I don't do married men, knowingly, okay? So the third one, I don't date comedians. So I'm not discriminating. Oh my God, I cannot speak English. Anyway, I'm not discriminating against my own guy, okay, guys? I just, but I just don't want it to be like when he talk about bitches be crazy. You know which bitch he's talking about. So I just want to keep it anonymous. Okay? So anyway, I learned one thing. I've been dating a lot, and then mostly my relationship doesn't go past second week. So one time I went to the grocery store to buy milk. I met the guy. We kind of dating. I broke up with him. And then I look at the fridge. The milk's still good. Now my relationship shelf life is shorter than milk. So it's so sad. And then I figured out one of the reasons that I'm still single, because guys don't like women who ask a lot of questions. Questions like, are you an asshole? You just don't know how to talk to women. When will you get your shit together? Can you please stop sending me dick pics? I try to be a better catch though. So now I always say yes when my guys ask me for a threesome. But with one condition, I get to pick the third person. So I always pick a hot black guy. Everybody again, he got the threesome that he wanted, and I got Mr. Foot Long that I wanted. Thanks, guys, when it's time.
And time. All right, y'all, let's talk about some pussy cats. Let's talk about pussy cats, y'all. Y'all come around. I know y'all visiting here, but if you walk around this island at night, you know what's really crazy? You will never see a homeless dog here, ever, ever. People love some homeless dog. I love dogs out here. Everybody, there's a dog, there's gonna be a person with that dog. You will see homeless cats everywhere. And it's the most scariest shit sometimes when you go out there and it's like 15 cats looking at you with their eyes glowing like, oh, I live with cats. I used to have a dog, but a dog broke my heart one time. Broke my heart, this beautiful pit bull. Because for the hood, you gotta have a pit bull. Had this beautiful red-nosed pit bull, which is big and strong. And everybody was like, that's a really nice dog. And we got it as a guard dog to protect our house. Somebody done stole that dog. Ain't that messed up? Like, damn. Like, so I became a cat person. And living with a cat's crazy because, like, living with a cat's like living with a hot chick as a girlfriend. Like, it's just there just because looking at you with disappointment, like, oh, he's back. It does what it want to do when it wants to do it. Like, you can't just go pet your cat. Like, it's not when it wants to get pet, it'll come up to you like, yes, all right, go ahead, that's enough. Get away from me. Like, it's crazy. Like, they really, I think my cat was trying to kill me. Is that crazy thinking? I thought my cat was trying to kill me. I'd be walking by and it'll snatch my feet. Like, no, what's the matter with you? Like, when you try to grab it, just do this thing. And for some reason, he had like this evil vendetta against any type of stream material. Like, every time he sees a cat, he just gets this look of hate in his eye. Like, oh, crazy ass cat. Like, I had a cat that talked one time. Yeah, I was like, I'm sitting there getting ready for it. My cat looks me dead in my face and go, where you going? I'm like, oh shit, somebody done put something in my weed. Like, oh man, like, I'm getting schizophrenia or something. Like, oh, why is this cat? And he goes, so I'm like, I'm going to work. And the cat was like, oh, and walks away. So I had that cat for a couple years. He was an awesome cat. So when I moved to Hawaii, I had to give up the cat. I gave the cat to my mom, and mom can't take care of it. Because you can't bring a cat to Hawaii, right? You might as well bring another person. Like, it costs to bring an animal here, like, a lot of money. So I gave the cat to my mom. My mom calls me, like, 2 days, and so she's like, hey, you know your cat talk, right? Like, oh my God, it happened to you too? I know my mom was smoke. So I'm like, oh, for real? She's like, yeah. And she said the cat went up and was like, where's Ralph? Ralph's my name. Where's Ralph? And he's like, oh, he's not coming back anymore. He went to Hawaii. He's like, oh. And just walked away like, oh, I'll let that little guy. Now cats be trying to kill me. They even cats that don't know me try to kill me. I'll be driving. You ever be driving at night and see a cat like dart across the street? Like, for real cat? Like, all right. That's why they homeless. Because they assholes. Ladies and gentlemen, this next comedian is a big brother to me. He's a big brother to the entire Hawaii comedy community. I need y'all to make some noise for Darryl. Bonita!
All right. Give it up for Paco Loco. How's everybody? Give you guys a round of applause coming out, supporting the local comedy scene here in Blue Nose. So thank you guys so much. Great to be out and about again. Crazy times this past year with COVID. Every day you just hear about the numbers going up. That's all you hear about. And it's scary to see every day the numbers just keep rising. And when I talk about the numbers rising, I'm talking about the number of people using TikTok. That's what you're waiting for. That's a real pandemic. Once grandma said doing dance routines, shut it down. Shut it down. It's crazy. My friends would be all nuts. They're happy now, but with me, they're like, oh, I don't want a quarantine. You can't make me quarantine. I don't want a quarantine. I want to go out. I want to support local. I don't want a quarantine. Everything started opening up. Hey, I got to show at the blue one. You want to come? I cannot. I got a quarantine. What's the matter with you? You're right. My bad. And we got to practice social distancing, keeping our distance. And I'm from a little town here called Waianae. And I don't know, for us, thank you. For us, we've been practicing social distancing way before COVID. Except we call it TROs. For God's sake, at least 100 feet I gotta stay away. You start realizing during this time just how much you really don't like to be around your family anymore. You know what I mean? So before this would happen, everybody just be complaining. I work so damn much. I wish I didn't have to work and I could just spend all my time with my family. And then COVID hit, it's like, I can't wait to get back to work. Please. And my family is a blended family, so me and my fiance, we have a daughter each from previous relationships, so now, we have blended family. Now we become step parents. And that's an interesting thing when you become a step parent. Not so much for me, because I'm a stepdad. It doesn't take much for me as a stepdad to be cooler than the real dad. I just gotta be around. I just gotta be out. And I'm ready. Cool already. You in, bro. You in. But my fiance got a little bit more tough. She's a stepmom. And stepmoms have a little bit more difficult time. And if you don't believe me, just watch any Disney animated movie to see how they look at stepmoms. Nobody looks at stepmoms in a positive light unless they're watching porn. Okay? Then we all love the stepmom. Right? It's always the same thing, in these scenes. She's in the kitchen in the middle of the day with her bathrobe. She's not cooking. She's not cleaning, but she's in the kitchen. And then here comes little Timmy. Timmy comes home, he got his baseball cap, because Timmy loves baseball. And he's like, what's wrong, stepmom? She's like, I don't know, I don't spend enough time with your dad, and I just don't feel beautiful. And he's like, what are you talking about, stepmom? You're beautiful. The music starts kicking in. It's on now. They start kissing. It's getting hot. It's getting heavy. The clothes is coming off. Her clothes is coming off. His clothes is coming off. Then she takes off his baseball cap, and little Timmy has a bald spot. I don't know about you guys, but when I watch a porn, I like a little bit of realism in there. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be an actual 16-year-old, but at the very least, I don't care what little Timmy going through at school, he should have a head full of hair. He shouldn't have a bald spot. Life is not that tough, Timmy. It's crazy. Like I mentioned, having my daughter, she's a freshman in high school. She just finished up her freshman year, and that's such a scary thing. It's horrible. And she's becoming a woman, and I know this because her body's starting to do things it never did before. So that makes me know she's becoming a woman. Like, for example, no matter what I tell her, her eyes automatically just roll to the back of her head. That's how I know she's becoming a woman. And I'm just trying to raise her for not be stupid. Because let's face it, kids today, they're stupid. They're really, really stupid, right? They are. Unless they're your kids, then that's the teacher's fault. That's the teacher's fault. And it's hard because kids nowadays, it's so hard to discipline kids nowadays.